The government diverts up to £75 million from the scrap Rwanda plan to a border security command for autumn crime crackdown. We're going to read into this more from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline that the government diverts up to £75 million from the scrapped Rwanda plan to a border security command for an autumn crime crackdown. The immediate cash injection redirected from abandoned Rwanda policy will fund new covert cameras and monitoring technology. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share this across social media so others are notified of this video. So obviously we know that that the Rwanda scheme, which is a pointless scheme, a waste of time scheme, and please don't waste my time in any comments in the description of trying to play in any way, shape or form about the Rwanda scheme actually being a good idea in any way, shape or form. It was a waste of money, it was a waste of time. I've said this 1,000 times and I will continue to say it. It was pointless. It really, really was, guys. Now, obviously, a lot of that money is obviously they've set the original government had set aside money for it, and the new Labour government is looking to push some of that towards a border security command for autumn crime crackdown, the crackdown on crime, but also try and crack down, I suppose, on migration. I suppose I'm not sure like how this money is, how it's going to be distributed. Obviously, there's going to be lots of questions about that, but they look as this. So obviously, it says there covert cameras and monitoring technology. You try and keep track of these things. I suppose they're going to have lots of these along the coast or whatnot. When you know everyone knows that the easiest solution to dealing with the crisis on the small boats and the border is to set up a safe legal routes. We've said this on so many occasions. I mean, why is it so hard for people to understand that? But yeah, we're going to keep having that discussion until the cows come home because nobody wants to have that serious discussion. But obviously, any autumn crime crackdown, obviously, just to keep down on crime, I suppose. I mean, if they can bring crime down, that's great. But here's the thing, right? Until you deal with this cost of living crisis, with people basically struggling to make it every single day, surviving every single day, it is tied to crime, the cost of living crisis. You know, especially when people are barely able to afford their rent or are barely able to afford food, heating and whatnot just to get by. All these things are linked in a way to crime as well, because when people have absolutely nothing and they can't make it the next day, they will turn to crime in order to keep themselves going. So, you know, Keir Starmer can talk tough all he wants, but until he deals with the issues that people are struggling from, it's not really going to make a tad bit of difference, and much of a difference, I would say, on crime. So let's read into this. So the government has diverted up to £75 million from the scrapped Rwanda plan to fund a new border security command ahead of an immigration crime crackdown. So Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, said the agency will deliver a major overhaul and upgrade in law enforcement against smugglers and trafficking gangs to boost our border security. The thing is like the only way I can see this is what you're going to do, give a lot of money to France, because that's where the majority of it is going to be done. It's all along the European coast. They're not doing it on this side of the channel. It's on the other side. You know, so what of course there's you have to have conversations and you have to be on good terms with France, Belgium, where their majority, well, mainly France, but that's where they're coming from. But it's really those along there. So I'm not sure how like tackling gangs and the smugglers and the trafficking gangs on the other side in Europe is gonna, unless you have that cooperation or where you can send your own people over to France to help crack down on it, maybe. But the immediate cash injection will fund new COVID cameras and monitoring technology, the Home Office said, alongside the recruitment of the new staff at the Border Security Command. The uplift will also help establish a new unit to improve intelligence collection across UK police forces and information flows to the partners, and increase the number of prosecutors working in the Crown Prosecution Service. The Rwanda scheme was introduced by the previous Conservative government in a bid to deter migrants from crossing the English Channel in small boats. Prime Minister Keir Starmer scrapped the plan as soon as the party came into power in early July, and shortly afterwards Ms Cooper announced an audit of the monies sent to Kugal as the Labour administration looks to find ways to save or recoup cash committed under the Conservatives. One estimate placed the total cost of the Rwanda scheme to be around £500 million by April 2027. £500 million, guys. What a waste of taxpayer money. The Border Security Command was a key feature of Labour's election manifesto, with Sir Keir pledging before polling day to send around £75 million a year to the scheme. The Home Secretary said criminal gangs are getting away with undermining our border security and putting lives at risk. The Border Security Command will deliver a major overhaul and an upgrade in law enforcement against smugglers and trafficking gangs to boost our border security. It's just a lot of, it just sounds like tough talk. Like Border Security Command makes it sound like a really tough thing, that they're really strong and tough on crime and immigration. It sounds tough, but is it actually doing something? State-of-the-art technology and enhanced intelligence capabilities will ensure that we're using every tool at our disposal to dismantle this vile trade. As part of the BSC Uplift, the National Crime Agency, the police and other law enforcement partners would receive significant funding boost. This will be part of our efforts to disrupt people smuggling gangs in the channel. Rob Jones, the Director General of Operations at the NCA, said the funding will allow us to improve and extend our technology, data exploration and capacity building both internationally and in the UK. You know where I would like some of that money to actually go? I wouldn't mind some of that money going towards, I don't know, our National Healthcare Service. You know, that would be something that'd be a bit helpful. You know, I wouldn't mind some of that money going towards there. Just saying, you know, but the Prime Minister has already said that they can't fund the NHS without reform. There is no funding for the NHS without reform. Oh, well, what about the cost of living crisis? You know, people are struggling to get by, you know. No, it's not. The money looks like it's not going to go there either. No, but they've told councils that they're not going to be given money, as far as I'm aware. I mean, that could change. The position could change at the autumn at the budget next month, late October. But at the moment, everyone's like, you're on your own at the moment. Everyone's all on their own when it comes to it. So, yeah, Labour have not really been clear about how they're going to help with a lot of ordinary people right now. I mean, what is it that David Cameron said? We're all in it together. And how did that work out for us? As for this whole Border Security Command thing, I mean, again, it all sounds really good on paper. But if by the end of by the next general election, immigration's brought down, the gangs are actually dealt with, and there is a reduction in people crossing, then you can give credit where credit is due to the Labour government, because they have shown it. But it's a case of how they do between now and then. You know, people like I am sceptical of Labour, but we also have to give them the opportunity to see what they can do as well. I don't like that a lot of like 75 million. I do hope some of that money is going back to the $500 million that was originally set up for Rwanda. I hope a lot of that is going towards the situations that we are in right now in a lot of things. But we will have to see if this so-called autumn crime crackdown will actually mean a reduction in people crossing. I guess we'll have to wait and see if this whole Border Security Command is not just a novelty project, but actually something that actually is going to deal with the issue. But I have I don't have much doubts. I have quite a few doubts on it, but we will see, won't we? But what do you guys honestly think? What do you guys make of the whole Border Security Command now? You know, it's all getting set up, and now they're preparing an autumn crime crackdown on those crossing over, tackling the smuggling gangs and whatnot. Is it you know, and taking money from the Scrap Rwanda scheme apparently to help pay for it? Are they actually going? Is this actually going to deal with the problems? Is it actually going to make a difference? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments section below. Found this video informative? Please hit the like button. Greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, because it really does help support the channel. If you want to go one step further, financially support me in the work that I can do, what I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for just 99p, and you get access to lots of special features for that. Or you can join me on Rumble or Patreon as well for exclusive content on those platforms. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.